What is good, everybody? Welcome back. It's time for our track review stream. It's been a while. Thank you all for being here. I'm so happy to be here with you all today in the Lo-Fi Lounge on a Thursday, trying something new. I talked about this in the members only workshop earlier this week, but you know, it seems like weekend content, that is not where it's at. You all want content during the week. So instead of making all these things happen on a Saturday, which doesn't even work that well for me, let's make them happen during the week. On Monday, we had a members only workshop, which was very, very successful. More people tuning in live than the typical Saturday stream. I think people love to be at work watching YouTube, or maybe they've just gotten out of work. Who can say? But I want to thank you all for being here. I got some announcements for y'all at the top of today's stream. Some of you members already know one of the announcements, which is kind of a big one. And I guess to preface this, what we're doing on today's stream is reviewing people's music. Now, we do this pretty much every other month. This is a perk of membership on the channel. Those cool people with the cool icons next to their name, those are channel members. By becoming a member, you actually get access to our Discord community, free downloads of sounds, access to the free members only workshops. That's at the VIP tier. And you get the cool icon next to your name, and you get to support the channel. It's a great way to support me as an artist, support my channel, and get something in return for yourself. So you can join at any tier to submit music today. We already have over 20 submissions, so I'm very excited about that, but we'll probably have room for a bit more. What we do is we go through each track in the Discord, play through it. I give some of my feedback or criticism, always trying to be helpful and always trying to be constructive. And that's what I expect from everybody here in the community. If you show up and the first thing that you say is something negative about somebody's track, that's not going to fly. You'll probably get put in timeout in chat. If you just show up in chat and you just say, how do I submit music? How do I submit my music? You're going to get banned as well. That's not what it's about. It's about community here. Be here hanging out, having a good time. Be a part of the conversation. Don't just jump into self-serve. And hey, shout out to all those members in chat. I see some member milestone chats happening. Thank you, Faded, for the 8 months. Thank you, Orbit, for the... Oh, I almost knocked my headphones off my ears. Thank you, Orbit, for the 18 months. 18-month member there. Wow. That's crazy. But let's get to some announcements. So that's what we're going to be doing here today. We're going to jump into the music relatively quickly. Sino says, first stream as a member, welcome. And if you are new here, or if you're just like a new recent member and you're not sure how things work, or if you're having any trouble, feel free to ask in chat. If you have questions about submitting music, you can type !new member. And when Nightbot wakes up, Nightbot will type an explanation in chat for how to submit music. As usual, all of you who have been around for a while, if you can help answer questions, help guide people. Sometimes people have trouble getting into the Discord. If you all could advise on that so I don't have to kind of derail the stream every time that happens, I would greatly appreciate it. But let's start with some quick announcements here. I will start by talking about what I already mentioned, actually, which is that the members only workshop number 6 happened on Monday, actually. So every other month we either do a workshop or a track review stream. So February we did a workshop. Now it's March, we're doing a track review stream. In April we'll do a workshop again. And these are deep dives into topics that I think are very important, but they're topics that generally don't fit into a quick algorithm friendly YouTube video. So as you can see, they're all maybe 1.5 to 2 hours. So there's probably close to 8 hours of content here, perhaps, or more. I don't know how the math adds up. But workshop number 6 is all about arrangement and how to arrange your track. I think people found it very, very helpful. This was definitely a good one. My other favorite one is workshop number 1, which is how to analyze and learn from your favorite music. I really like that one. I felt like that was a really important one. For the next workshop, I'm considering doing a deep dive into melody and how to make melodies, what makes a good melody, etc. If you all think that's a good idea, let me know. If you have other ideas, of course, you can let me know as well. And you all can use the members chat in Discord or any of the Discord channels, wherever it makes sense, to discuss what you'd like to see in a future workshop. At least 10 plus hours, quick math. That's good to know. So this is a good reason to either upgrade your membership to VIP if you're not a VIP member yet, or a reason to become a member in general if you're not a member yet. It's just another one of those perks. I think these are really helpful workshops, and I think other people can speak to that in the chat as well. I really enjoy doing those workshops too, because I don't want to have to just make YouTube videos. This is an excuse to go deep and like focus on something important. During this workshop, to talk about arrangement though, I actually used my new track as an example because I thought it was a good example of variation and arrangement. And my new track is called Escape, and it drops tomorrow. So if you are able to, it would help me a ton, a lot. If that link works, I hope that link works. It looks weird. It's called Escape. It drops tomorrow. I'm really excited. I even painted the cover art. If you can pre-save on Spotify, I would really appreciate it. Or just make sure you're following me on whatever streaming service, and we can run that track up tomorrow. Very excited for that. New track, new music. Finally, this is the first track I'm releasing in 2023, and I will have another track out April. A lot of you already know what that is. Y'all know how it goes. Dan says, only found your videos for an alternate for Boss RC505 Looper, but now found myself deeper in this channel. That's great to hear. Thank you so much for becoming a member. Hi, Tiffany. I see you there. Hello. Karaoke Instrumental says, you are a master? Wow. Thank you. It's big words, big words. I use Apple Music. It's available for that, right? It should drop on Apple Music. I'm hoping everything goes okay with the release tomorrow, because I did have to update the release day. I originally uploaded it with the wrong release day, and I moved it to March. So hopefully that'll be fine. Pilgrim of Light with the 22 months. Not only that, a huge supporter. Round of applause. That's a lot of support. Thank you so much for your 22 months, Pilgrim of Light. Pilgrim of Light says, I've grown so much over the past 22 months. Thank you, TAETRO. Hey, congratulations to you and your growth. Thank you for that support. And that is very emblematic, I think, of how I like to run this channel and why certain decisions are made on this channel. For instance, doing a track review stream that's open to channel members. While I would love to just review any and everybody's music, I think becoming a channel member, it definitely implies some type of investment. I know not everybody can afford that, so I would like to find other ways to help, but hopefully the videos can help at no cost to anybody. And then this track membership, instead of having just anybody being able to join the stream and submit music, and then instead of offering like a $50 option to skip the line, I think $2 along with all the other perks that come with being a member. What it does is it helps everybody gather as a community. Like, you're going to see a lot of familiar names. If you're new here, you're going to get to know a lot of the familiar names you see in chat. And we can get to know each other through each other's music. Then we can connect through conversation in the Discord. Like, it's a deeper level of community. It's not just a bunch of sporadic musicians scattered around all looking for their airtime. It's like a support group. It's like a network. It's a true network, or at least that's what I want it to be. Eric says, already saved on Spotify, so gonna listen during work. Heck yeah, thank you so much. I also posted on Instagram a before demo and after of the finished track, so you might want to, anybody can check that out on Instagram. Baited says, can't complain about $1.99. Bro, you're being too nice. Hey. And that's coming from someone with 2 kids and a house to run. Wow, shout out to you. And hey, a couple new members joining. I am under 5. Under 5 feet tall, probably. I need a laugh track. I only have the applause. I need a laugh track. Intrigued viewer, welcome to the community as well. Thank you for joining. Welcome new members. We are also over 350 members, which is dope. I'm going to put some free downloads up for members or VIPs next week. I think I'll be able to get to it by next week. Just a small download. Trying to focus on smaller downloads, etc. Okay, are you all ready for the big announcement? I want to get through these announcements so we can be listening to your all's music instead of me just talking. Big announcement, chat. Big announcement. How can I preface this? First of all, I always forget to turn that light on. Second of all, we have a great community here, a great live stream community. That's not going to go away. That's always going to be here. In fact, we've got sponsors for every Thursday in the month of March, except for the last one. You all as members are sponsoring this first Thursday in March. And then we'll have new fun stuff happening next Thursday, the Thursday after, the Thursday after. Then, also starting this month, actually starting tomorrow, to celebrate the release of my new track Escape, I will be embarking on a new endeavor, at a new place, doing more fun things, similar things to what we are doing now. Ladies and gentlemen, and NBs alike, I have finally inked the deal with Twitch. We're about to be live on Twitch. Go give a follow if you do already have Twitch. I know some of you follow strictly on YouTube, but we will be now streaming over on Twitch as well, and we're going to be streaming even more frequently. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Where is it? Here. We will be now streaming more frequently on Twitch, more streams per week. No set schedule coming, but I'm going to stream a lot in the month of March, and I'm going to try to figure out, just like I do over here, what's the best time, what's the most fun thing to do. In fact, let me switch cameras here for a second. I was actually yesterday working on this new performance setup kind of thing, this setup here. You all know I love this kind of setup, working on this kind of thing, and working on a performance, like an improvisational performance thing. What I want to do is, like, Twitch is just a different vibe. We were talking about this in the member stream. Twitch is just a different vibe in the sense that it's letting you all into the studio, letting you all see me work on stuff, more interactive. We can do more fun things. We can do reactions. We can watch other videos. It's just a different vibe on Twitch. So I'm excited for that. If you do have Twitch and you can give me a preemptive follow, that would be awesome. If you're already a member and you're already supporting the channel, definitely no pressure to support in both places. That's just insane. But if anybody does have Amazon Prime, the way it works over on Twitch is a subscription is the same thing as a YouTube membership, where you can sub for $5 over on Twitch and basically become a member over there. You become a sub. But if you have Amazon Prime, you get one free sub every month. So you can essentially subscribe to my Twitch channel for free. Just putting that out there. You can obviously support any other creator on that, but I'm really happy. Twitch has been really supportive in this process of planning this. My sort of partner manager guy, he's super nice, and like he kind of handpicked me along with other artists to start on this. But I'm very excited for this. It's going to be a different vibe than here. And don't worry, the stuff over here is not going away. All your member perks, members only workshops, track review streams, still going to be happening. Don't worry. Different stuff happening on Twitch. So there's a reason to watch in both places. But if you give a follow and you turn on notifications, I will be live tomorrow on Twitch for the first time. Actually, not the very first time. I streamed on Twitch a long time ago before I started streaming on YouTube. Long time ago. Love the Twitch bio message. Hey, it's all about honesty, you know? So I appreciate you all. If you are a Twitch viewer, would love to see you over there. If you're not a Twitch viewer and you want to see what it's like over there, come hang out tomorrow. I'm not exactly sure what time yet. Probably afternoon PST. But I will make sure to tweet it out and put it on Instagram stories. So if you're not following in one of those places, I would recommend following there so you can get the most up to date. That's the easiest way. Of course, if you're following on Twitch, you can get notifications for when I go live. And that's the big announcement. This has been a deal in the works. It's been something in the works for a while. I'm happy to finally get it off the ground, and I'm excited to see. I think there will be, and this is the important part, chat, for all of you. This is important for me and how all of you can help. Twitch will mean that there's new people coming to the stream, that there's new people coming to the community, people that aren't from YouTube or whatever. You all are such a good and positive community that I will need your help to replicate that over there on Twitch. And if you are able to join in and come hang out on Twitch, then just by being you all in chat, being supportive community members, supportive of each other, supportive of me, being positive, you can help me set that tone, and we can sort of get off on the right foot over on Twitch. That's my hope. There it is. But that's the big announcement. More streams coming on Twitch in the month of March, and more to come. Tony T says, proud of you, TAETRO. Thank you so much, Tony T. Tony T. All right. Thank you, everybody, for the congrats. Hi, Juma. I'm well. Thank you for joining. Thank you, everybody, for the kind words. I was very kind of nervous about announcing all that. I didn't want you all to feel like things would change over here, because I know we have a good thing going on over here. But things aren't going to change going on. It's just more. We're going to be doing more. Now I have to get Twitch and Discord, and I have no idea what either of those things are. No worries, Kat. I think you'll be able to figure it out. Discord is a little bit confusing, but it's kind of just like a chat room where you can join multiple chat rooms. All right, before I just like ruin my voice, any game streaming on Twitch? Erod, we might stream some games on Twitch too. I don't see why not. I think the goal is to do variety stuff, like a variety of things. Of course, music related, but there will be opportunity to do things that aren't just music related. So we should have a lot of fun. All right, what game? Well, one of the main games I play is Cyberpunk. I never beat Elden Ring, but I did stream that for the members at one point. Me and Joe play, or have been known to dominate in PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. So, play with viewers. That's a good idea too. Bobby Lime says, just logged in. What's the big announcement? What did I miss? Tony says, Overwatch. I haven't played Overwatch in a long time. Overwatch is like so sweaty. I don't like to play sweaty games. I'm not a pro player. Look, everybody, we got to get into reviewing this music, because watch as I scroll, the submissions start here. We have a lot of music to get to. So much so that we'll probably have to close the submissions around 1 p.m. Maybe. I didn't even count. If someone is able to count how many submissions we have in there, that would be good. Usually we go for these streams for about 3 hours, because that's how long my brain can handle actually giving decent criticism, or like putting actual thought into these. And how long my voice can actually watch, you know. Nascent with the golden badge. Woo! That is the most coveted of badges. Is that a 2? I believe that's the 2-year badge. That's crazy. If you do your member milestone, Nascent, we can see actually how many months you've been a member. Faded says, what time is it for you now? It's 8:22 p.m. here. It is 12:22 p.m. here. You're 6 hours ahead, Faded. No, you're 8 hours ahead. This is why I can't do math. Notification says 24 songs. That's great. Okay, that's a lot. Let's get listening. And as usual, it's helpful for me if you put your YouTube name in your post. If you did not put your YouTube name in your post, please go back and edit it and put your YouTube name, as I'm seeing all these people have done. That's how you know we've come so far as a community, when people have actually read the instructions. Of course, you all are very helpful as well. Don't forget to put your YouTube name. Thank you all for helping each other out. 24 months from Mason. Ooh. You'll love to see it. 24 months. That's crazy. And of course, if you are a member, also look forward to seeing your name in the credits of videos. Basically, when I edit and export a video, I also export a list of members and put that in there. So it all comes down to when I've finished the video. So like you might have become a member after I exported the video, and then you'll be in the next one, basically. Let's listen to some music. I gotta open this tab. Give it a second. No, don't play yet. All right, and then Discord can come down here. Oh, what's that? Just my Twitch channel. And then this will be our listening tab. What's up, Yock? And now let's give a listen to Pilgrim of Light, February 14th, interlude.wav. Let's give it a listen. Let me know on the levels. Ooh. I like this build up here. Interesting. It was like a deceptive build-up. Cool sounds. Erod says hearing Khaled or someone similar sing on it. That's Khaled? How do you say it? Thank you, Pilgrim of Light, for being our first track today. Very cool sounds. I love the chord progression. I love the melody. I love that. I love the beat. I love the kick pattern. I understand that it is labeled interlude, so that provides some context. But I think this track has the opportunity to actually build, actually give us, boom, something. But then when Erod mentioned the singer, I wonder if having a singer could shape that better. Because here's the thing, it's ambient R&B interlude. It seems like it's halfway being ambient and halfway being like a R&B track with some momentum, you know? I think it's gotta be either one or the other. Because you're playing with the listener's expectations, which I don't mind, like in this moment where it sort of deceptively builds up and then comes back down. I think that's okay. And then later on we get big energy, but I think that could have been even bigger and for sure longer. Kat says left me wanting more. Yeah. Like if this section at the end was twice as long and even bigger, giving it more of a song structure, getting a singer on it or something, it would do more to like propel it forward or make it fully realize the ideas, I guess. Now you do a thing with the panning, with the claps, one left, one right. I think that's interesting in the intro, but probably wouldn't recommend it for the entirety of the track. It's like a little bit distracting, which like that's okay in an intro where you're just like, oh, hey, I'm here. Listen to my track. But once we get into this fully formed section here, I wouldn't do the hard panning on the clap. Or even with being an interlude, pulling back on a section would add contrast. True, true. Bobby Lime says, always leave them wanting less. A rap wouldn't be out of place on the track either. I agree. Overall, you've put together a cool track here, Pilgrim of Light. Thanks for being the first submission. I really like this style. The vocal sample. So poppy. And then I wanted this to be bigger, like bigger, brighter chords or something. Maybe like even a bigger snare there at the end or something. I don't know. As usual, my feedback is just my feedback, and I recognize that every artist has their own vision and idea, and you can take it or leave it. But thank you, Pilgrim of Light, for that submission. Great tune. Let's get Orbit up here next. Orbit, Orbit, Orbit. We got a lo-fi track from Orbit. Morning Walk. Interesting sample. Orbit says, I'm kind of worried about the snare I used. Didn't know how to handle it. Almost like vaporwave-ish. I'd be less worried about the snare, Orbit, and more worried about the kick. Where is the kick? Hear it, I do not. I can hear the top end of the kick, but I don't feel the kick, you know? And that's really important. Cool. Overall, I think there's this interesting folky vibe to this with the like guitar stuff that's happening. And you said you were worried about the snare. I think the snare is fine. Like it's a little bit wide, like it's taking up a lot of space. I think that's okay though. But also the snare sound has implications for like how big the track is. The track does feel kind of like big and mystical, which seems intentional. Now, here's the thing. You've got some implications here with the guitar and the plucked instruments and everything, and I'm seeing the trees here. Then you use this like synth lead that's sort of like theremin-esque. It's like very sci-fi sounding vibrato. And I'm not sure it fits the overall vibe of the tune. Like it almost sounds like a hokey sci-fi theme. Maybe that's intentional. That's okay. But this section, other than that synth, I love leaning into those acoustic elements. Like I wonder if you swapped this lead synth sound with something like a strings, like a violin or something. I wonder if it would sound a bit less out of place. Maybe not, but I think that's just like a taste thing. It matters what sounds you like to use. And if that's a sound that you like to use, cool. So yeah, main thing there is that kick orbit. The number one thing you can do is go listen to a reference track. Go listen to other lo-fi tracks side by side with your track and just pay attention to the drums. Pay attention to that kick and the low end in the kick. If you go listen to like a top lo-fi song on a playlist or something, or one of your favorite lo-fi songs, you're going to feel that kick. You're going to feel that low end. Here, I can only hear the top end. And consider this orbit. You were worried about the snare. You could perhaps have a smaller sounding snare during the beginning of the track and then get to this big whack snare at the end where the track is biggest. That's something you can do as well. And you know, I'm going to pull back a little bit on my advice about the lead sound. If you want like video game town quest vibe, I think it actually fits very well. It's all about context though. Like, what do you envision when you see this track? And do the sounds fit that vision? Thank you, Orbit, for submitting that track. That was cool. It's definitely more than just a lo-fi chill track though. You definitely brought us on a journey there. This is not what I want. Jadun is next. Christopher says, whoa, didn't realize this was live. It's live. It's hypnotic, says DJ Green Alert. Yeah, it is a little bit hypnotic. Thank you. Hope you all are enjoying the stream. Hope you're enjoying hanging out. Somebody said something nice and I wanted to say thank you, but I definitely can't find it. But thank you to everybody who said something nice in chat. Motion glass. Ooh. Is to get a singer or rapper on this, because I think it would fit really well. Ramirez, welcome to VIP. Cool. Wow. Jotun, this is a cool instrumental. I'll answer a couple questions really quick. Intrigued Viewer says, Discord seems to be slow to grant me access to the server. Yes, that happens sometimes, but stay tuned. If you became a member already and you haven't been able to submit because you don't have Discord access yet, don't worry. We will get you in today. But just keep refreshing. Try to fully exit out of Discord and reopen it. Also, double check that you connected the proper Google account to Discord, because sometimes we have little other Google accounts and YouTube accounts connected to those, but whatever your username is here in the chat, that's the Google account that should be connected to the Discord. Double check that, and then also make sure you do a refresh, exit out of Discord, etc. Kind of experimented with the track. Jotun, it definitely sounds slightly experimental, which I think is cool. Like, especially off the bat with the intro, this weird, that weird sort of out of tune piano thing. I think you do well because that only lasts for like 3 seconds, 5 seconds, and then we get blasted with the beat. So I think it's cool. You're like throwing the listener off balance, and then you bring that back in later. But it doesn't last for too long, which is why I think it's like acceptable and cool. I think get a top line person on this, a rapper or a singer, maybe both. I think that's one thing that is missing. And then if I had a note, it would be a mixing note on that main instrument that's arpeggiated. That keyboard sound. Because it's so mid-rangey, it's kind of getting a little bit cluttered. So be careful of that. Use a little bit of subtractive EQ and carve out places for all the other instruments, because it's probably getting cluttered in the low end. Everything's passing through the mid-range. You could even make that sound a bit wider, so it's happening around me, and that's also going to create space for eventually a vocal to be on this, which you will definitely need space for. Musically, there's already space for it. Mix-wise, you'll definitely want to make sure there's space for it. But definitely cool. Very, very creative, cool instrumental. Razi says it sounds cool. DJ Green Alert says loved it. Joseph McCaffrey in the chat. 25 months! The longest standing member has arrived. Spam the Joe emotes in chat. It's time for Joe's show. It's really going to be time for Joe's show pretty soon. All right, thank you. Ice Jotan. Thank you. Let's keep it moving. Art of Mere. Art of Mere. I love that we have a video here. As usual, make sure you subscribe, go to the profiles of the artists of the music that you like, and show them some support. Don't forget. This is like a Procreate time-lapse drawing. The piano scared me on the left. It's a panning day, chat. It's a panning day. I can feel it. Got some clipping on the recording, so I just be careful in your recording process. That could be on the audio or it could be on the mix side, but you always want to have headroom. You don't want to be recording as loud as you possibly can. You want to be at a level where there's a bit of space between that waveform and the top, but I can hear the clipping here, so be careful of that. The strings sound good. I like this long string atmosphere. And the piano is good. It's just unfortunately clipping. Joseph McCaffrey says, been a member since 2008, actually. Fact. Dan says, 'twas like running in the fields during summer. Yes. Also, let's not sleep on the fact that first time drawing, first time using Procreate. Faded, I'm calling you out. That's bad advice. Bad advice in the chat. Art of Mere. Thank you for submitting this piece. It is quite a beautiful track. And the only thing holding it back is sort of the mixing and the basic mixing elements. Like I talked about, that piano is clipping, so we're hearing that distortion, right? I should also add and point out, not only first time drawing, first music produced using Ableton Live and the Arturia Mark III. That's amazing. So first of all, congrats to you on your first music produced. This is a beautiful ambient track held back only by some little mixing things that we can fix. Bring the volume of that piano down. If you watch any of my tutorials or watch me working in Ableton Live, you'll see that every time I'm making music, by default, my track volumes are down at -12 dB. This makes sure that no matter what, I have a bunch of headroom so I can make the track as loud as I need to later. But with the clipping, it creates distortion, etc. So even though you want your track to be loud, the actual way to get it properly loud is to start by making the tracks soft. But I think your sense of harmony, the dreaminess of it all is very good. Some of these lead instruments, though, instead of having them be buried and filtered in the way that they are, like they're very, not a lot of high end on them, allow one of them to come forward. Allow one of them to be as bright as the strings. I think it is okay to have some of these piano parts panned. And jump back and forth, but maybe not as drastic. When there's more parts happening and everything has a place, it makes sense. When there's a solo part and it's only happening in the left, that to me doesn't make a lot of sense. That to me is just distracting for a listener. So think about those things. The mixing stuff is number one, though. Thank you, Art of Marie, for that submission, and congrats on making your first music in Ableton Live. Velvet Stowe is up next. Elements. If you are looking for a how to submit music for this stream, you can of course type in !new member, or you can check the pinned post. It's got all the instructions, what you got to do, etc., etc. Brian said, I've learned so much from your channel in such a short time. I just bought an Akai MK Mini and I look forward to learning from you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Brian. Appreciate that. Oh, and Faded, I said if you're going to put your volume loud, yes. I said this was bad advice that Faded put in the chat about using a limiter. No. Give yourself headroom in the first place. Stop worrying about loudness. Don't worry. Nefertiti Gold in the chat. I think I have to demod Nefertiti Gold because there was like some slander going on about the Finding Nemo movie over in Nefertiti Gold's live stream, but I guess I'll just pretend that didn't happen. And now for something completely different. Ooh. The drums are quite loud compared to the chords, but let's see where it goes. The chords are cool. I think artwork is really important. if I showed up to this track and I clicked on it because I saw the artwork, I'd be like, what the hell is this? Doesn't mean the music isn't good, but it's like, why is that the artwork? I think there's a lot of cool stuff in this track. Good chord progression, good melody. I love that little vocal shout that's happening. However, it is quite repetitive in how it presents those ideas. I did just publish a video on Tuesday about how to make your music less boring. And I'm not trying to go hard and say that this track is boring, but I will say, if I click over here, and I click over here, it is largely the same material with a little more on this side, but it's that melody. And that melody is only 2, 3, 4. It's only a 2-bar melody. So a 2-bar melody repeated over 8 bars, that means you're hearing the same melody 4 times. And I'm not convinced that a listener wants to hear that many times. So how do you fix it, right? Well, one example is the track starts with these drums, which I'm fine with starting with some drums. But we're starting with the drums like full out, unfiltered, nothing, and then the chords start fading in. And then the drums are there, playing that exact same pattern the whole time. No fills, no filtering, nothing. So maybe even in the intro, you could filter the drums in at the very least. Kat, thank you for hanging out. Have fun at work. Maybe at the very least, you could filter in the drums, but you should be looking at all these ideas and how you can vary them. Now in the middle, we do get a little B section, and it's only a B section in the sense that the drums are gone, because we still have that melody happening. That melody is what's killing this song. It's a good melody. It is repeated way too many times. You have to build opportunities for your listener to miss the good stuff in your track, and then bring it back later. You have to give them good stuff, take it away, and then bring it back. Reli says, what's a B section? Definitely go watch my video that I posted on Tuesday. But a B section is a section of music that is different than the previous A section. So you can have an A section, a B section, a C section, and they should all be sort of unique and have their own individual identifiers and things that make them different than the previous section. The best ones completely contrast. A good B section completely contrasts an A section. I don't want to totally rehash that, but I did a whole thing on B sections in the workshop, so you could watch the latest workshop if you remember, or you can watch my latest video, which kind of gives an abbreviated version of some of the stuff we covered in the workshop, aka B section. That's what I'm trying to say. Good section in that on a B section. All right, so Raz in chat did inform us that Nemo means no one in chat, and that is because no one thinks that Finding Nemo is a bad movie. End the poll, 91% to 91 to 8%. How does it feel, Nefertiti Gold? How does it feel? It's not my fault. I didn't vote in the poll. Okay, next up we have Dan. I'm going to do this in the browser and just hope that it works. Oh, we got lyrics. As usual, these lyrics are not as usual, but some of these lyrics are not in English, meaning I do not know what they mean. I do not know if the track is clean. So take that into account. I will not be held responsible for the lyric content of this track. Hidman. Hideman? Hidman.
Hindi na babanayad ang aking mga titig akong binibini. Hindi na ba naniniwala kung sino ang may sala? Naubusan ng gasolina ang apoy.
Dan, where are you from? Is this Thai? I don't know.
Manhid na, manhid na, manhid na, manhid na. Pinipilit kong huwag mababaon sa mga pangako mo, ngunit ika'y lulong sa lahat ng mga panaginip ko. So please bring me back to the nights I like, where you always ride me. Struck on the plans that we talk about on a cigarette
Philippines?
after cuddling. Look into my eyes now, colors playing through my mind. Hurry up. Hindi na arugante at agresibo mga titig pagkatapos nakasandal ka na lamang. Tila ba'y lumulutang o tangay ng mga alon, mga ungol, may tinatagong pagsusumamo. Ako'y manhid nga, manhid
I needed
nga.
that yeah to be repeated.
Pinipilit kong huwag malululong sa lahat ng sinabi mo, ngunit lahat bigo at talagang ako'y naging manhid nga.
Uh-oh. What happened?
Since last night, I was drunk but feeling like I'm sober, 'cause it's already sundown pero di na nga mababalik. All the happy days we had na hindi mo na aninag, hindi nagpapatinag sa madaling araw ginugulat. Of all the flashbacks, hindi ko makontrol, lalo lang itong sinisira sa aking sistema. Di alintana, di ko na mabubura ang alaala. So please bring me back to the nights
Interesting.
like where you always loved me. Stuck on the plans that we had before and the cigarettes after fighting. Look into my eyes now, colors playing through my mind. Hurry up, erasing my mind. Image of your eyes, the sound of your laugh. Erasing my mind, forgetting my heart, the taste of our love. Erasing my mind, image of your eyes, the sound of your laugh. Erasing my mind, forgetting my heart.
Interesting. All right. Dan, wow. Very smooth, very cool sounds. Thank you for sharing this. All these good elements in here, right? Here's what's up. You have a lot of great elements in here. However,
Hindi na ba naniniwala
this song can be way better.
kung sino ang may sala? Naubusan ng gasolina.
There's a couple things here. So in the intro, we get that little false key thing. This is actually really interesting. We think the song's gonna be one thing, and then it switches. We're like, interesting. And then we start to get the vocal. Okay, you hooked me. Now, this is a thing like kind of similar to what The Weeknd has done before, where it's like it turns into like a new song here. I saw some talk about a B section here. It's kind of not really a B section. You kind of just switch to almost it just changes key. Nothing really changes. The drum kit is the same. We have that vocal in there. We have more vocals. Nothing really changes. You know what I'm saying? So I think that this song could be a really good 2 to 3 minute track that's more interesting, because throughout you have your vocal, you have the drums, you have the main chords, and they don't really evolve at all. So while your melodies are really good, your voice sounds great, the chords are really good, all that, you're not bringing us on really much of a journey. You just kind of like flip the song, like it's almost like just a random abrupt change in there in the middle that is only interesting in the fact that it changed keys. Everything else about it is the same. And Nefertiti Gold said, I wish that deep vocal came in more. And yes, I agree. You did this deep vocal thing at the end. You did that deep vocal thing at the end. That could have been used here before. So here's one way you could add variation. Go listen to any song that you like. Any song in this similar style with a vocalist. Pay attention to the song structure, the verse, the chorus, the pre-chorus, etc. The verse, the pre-chorus, the chorus in most songs, if you pay attention to the vocal production, the vocal is produced differently in different sections. So in a verse, you might have it just like you have it here. Basically, a single line, sort of not dry, a little bit of reverb, but it sounds like a singer singing in front of us, right? When there's a chorus, perhaps we should have a slightly more layered vocal. Some doubles. Make it sound thicker. For a pre-chorus, maybe we should slightly filter the vocals, right? Because if the vocal is at the lead for most of the track and nothing quite changes about the vocal throughout the whole thing, even if your melodies are good, even if the song sounds good, we're still wanting a bit of variation here. I think that could for sure help. Variation in the vocal production. You do a little bit with the echoes and stuff, but I'm talking more of like an existential level of this is the chorus, so now the vocals are going to sound slightly different here. If the song was 3 minutes long and it still had a key change, it would have more impact. I agree, Rashane. Because like by the time we even get to the key change, it's like, okay, we've been living in this feel forever. Like that's the feel the whole time. Then this section doesn't change that. Where is it? It's still exactly the same feel, just with different chords. You know what I mean? So it's not contrasting enough. That change again. So it is interesting. It's a little bit of whiplash. It's an abrupt change, which you of course can do. But can you also tell your listener somehow that a change is coming with some rises, etc.? Or do you intentionally want that change to be abrupt? That's up to you as an artist. And I'll say this, Dan, only reason I'm going kind of hard on this is I want to say you've got all the elements here. It's all sounding good. It's all sounding great, actually. You could be making songs that are getting playlisted with your skill level in performance, in songwriting. You could be getting songs playlisted and placed, etc. I think it sounds great, but I think the thing that is holding you back are some of these key elements that separate this track from the professional version of this track. I hope that makes sense. And so do what you can. Find songs that are like this, songs that are on playlists, songs that you love. Now pay attention to how do they arrange the song? How do the different sections of the song work together? How does the production change from section to section? How do they incorporate key changes or get weird with the changes, etc.? Those are the things to start examining. You've got the singing down. You've got the writing down with the chord progressions. Lyric-wise, seem good. I don't speak this language, but the English lyrics, good. The melodies connected to those lyrics, good. Refine it now. Now refine it. That's my first track, and this helps me in a much more space for improvement. That's awesome. This is your first track? That's crazy. Round of applause. First track? That's wild. Good job. That means your next track and tracks after this are going to be even better. So just keep going. Keep improving. All right. Well done. Wow, that was good. I didn't mention this at the top, but as you can all probably see, we got music from all different genres out here. And that's okay. We've got music from all different genres and all different experience levels. And we treat them all accordingly, right? Like if it's somebody's first song, we treat it one way. If somebody's been producing a while, we give a different type of feedback, right? It all makes sense. The next thing we got is Lucky Drill's Punch Lo-Fi. If you're in chat wondering how you can submit music, I would definitely recommend reading the description and the pinned post on the chat. Some of these sounds are peaking, Lucky Drills. You gotta bring down the level. This is why I hate playing it in the browser. When there's just one, why can't I play it? What did I do to deserve this? Try again. There we go. Got him, Bishop. Got him. So the random perk hits are like just a little bit confusing. Like they're not contributing to the groove. They're just distracting. Oh, it just ended. Structure was weird. I know there was an interruption there, but I didn't feel any types of evolution. So yeah, the production is a little bit odd. Like I don't mind the gritty sound, and the chords are good. Like I love the piano, but it's all just like peaking a bit too much. Like it. When I do the gritty sound and I like push like the J37, the waves tape emulation thing on my master, that's not clipping the track. That's just like overloading the saturation there. This sounds like the track is clipping. And this is another instance where the artwork, it's like, if I click on this track and I hear this, if I click on this artwork and I hear this track, I don't think I'm too crazy to say like this doesn't match to me. Like this is a bright pink, beautiful sunset, etc. Whereas this track sounds like dark and moody and like rainy and that's like coming through in the sound design, right? Like we have to pay attention to these things. We have to have a clear vision. So this is one of the reasons I think like some of these sounds that just don't make sense. It just seems like there wasn't enough attention to detail here. There's good ideas, but what is your vision for the track? Like, where does this sip of coffee come? There's like a rogue radio transmission, then somebody sips coffee. I don't understand the vision. I don't understand the picture that's being painted. Also, this section is nearly exactly the same as this section. Why? And it's okay. And I'm not trying to be like too hard. Like I respect a lot, everybody in this community that makes stuff and submits stuff. I'm only trying to give feedback so that people can do better. But I want to push this community too. Eric says it was the vision of drinking and chilling. That was the point. I hear you. I think drinking and chilling, I think you could have conveyed it a bit more through the music so that transition and stuff made more sense. You know, I think just my opinion. I think, like I said, there's good elements here. I like the grittiness. I like the darkness of it. Lean into that though. Like fully execute on that vision, right? Like start with the vision and then execute on that, and then constantly check yourself. How does this fit that vision? Does this fit that vision? I think that would help. There's good elements here, like I said. I don't think the sound design is necessarily bad. I think if it wasn't clipping as much, it would be better, of course. But you can have a gritty sound like this and be good. I think the lead, it almost sounds like Tape Machine, which is kind of good. I like the lead on top of the piano chords. I like the low subby bass. The drums are good lo-fi sound choices. Just make sure they're playing things that like contribute as a track. Like the kick snare pattern and the hi-hats are not bad, but the random claves are just like a little bit confusing. Try to get it grooving. But thank you for the submission. Execute on a vision. Constantly be skeptical of yourself. Is this executing on my vision? All right, I'll answer some questions in the chat because I'm seeing more and more pop up. Of course, if you're looking to submit music, welcome Ro Goodwin to the members. Thank you for being here. Welcome. Thank you for becoming a member, supporting the channel. If you type ! New member, as I'm about to do in chat, it will give you some instructions on how to get connected on Discord. If you are looking to submit music, you can click that join button and become a member, join the Discord, and that's how you submit music. Become a member at any tier. Let me say, Paulo says, one question, what should I look at first to learn about production and in general, theory, Ableton? Wow, what a great question, because I've made a literal video explaining this exact question. TAETRO 2023, boom, right there. How to learn production. How to learn music production in 2023. This will answer literally all of your questions. That's for Paolo right there. PR1907 says, what are your thoughts on the OP1? I want to get one. I'm really considering getting one. I'm hoping I can partner with Teenage Engineering and get one. What is the email address? There's no email address. Chord progression is class. Oh yeah, that's about the track. Yeah, for sure. All right, if I missed the question, I'm sorry. Urban Farms Project says, thank you for motivating me to make my first beat, which I submitted to the Rhodes Challenge contest. Nice. Amazing. I hope you get it because that price tag is hurtful regarding the OP1. It's a very expensive investment. However, I'm trying to rack my brain about what can do all the same things and serve my travel needs. And the OP1 is the only one that comes to mind, unfortunately. Like literally when I'm like, obviously I can bring the 404 somewhere or a circuit or something. Yeah, my laptop, that's true. My laptop is very portable, but like pulling out a laptop is like a different thing than having a small thing in front of you, right? iPad, yes, but I really struggle with music production on phone, iPad, whatever. I don't know why I don't connect that way. Let's go on a road trip with Xerix, and I'm going to turn up the volume on this track, mute my mic, and run to the bathroom real quick while we listen to it. Give it up for Xerix in the chat.
I'd see your registration and driver's license, please. Charles Haskell Jr., 30 brown eyes, dark hair. Are you Charles Haskell Jr.? Yes.
BPM was increased by like 2 to 5. Like what if this thing was really like It's a grooving track, Xerix. This is interesting, kind of different than usual.
Yes.
That little like melodic thing, it's just like so simple, but it is catchy. So this is like I'm trying to think of a reference point for this track. It's got a nice groove to it. Could it be almost like a Gorillaz track or something? Like I don't have a reference point for this kind of music really, but it grooves. That's why I thought, like it grooves at this tempo, but I was wondering about a little bit faster tempo that would make my head nod like a little bit faster, you know? I think the percussive elements are good. So in the fact that the strength of this track is in its groove, I wonder if the bass line could be a little bit more grooving. So Xerix, it might be out of your wheelhouse, but maybe collaborating with a bass player on this track, take a bass solo at some point in here, or just get a slightly more groovy bass line. I think that could elevate it too. Now, I'll also say this is a track where a key change could work quite well. Like a step up key change into the last chorus. I think that could also elevate this track. Because it's a song where like things are changing, right? The main groove is staying the same, but things are changing around it. So imagine if this back half was like a step up transition. There would have to be a little transitional element there. There would have to be like a set up this transition, but a little bit of a key change at the end would be cool. I think a couple chops on the melody would sound dope for sure. I saw somebody mention about like the vinyl crackle noise. I agree. I'm not a big fan of having that throughout your entire track unless it's really low in the background and even like spread stereo wise, because if it's dead center, it almost just like becomes clutter. And I don't know if that's on a certain sample, like on a drum sample or something, but a little bit less of that crackle sound. It contributes to mud, which your mix doesn't sound muddy here at all. The mix sounds quite good. Like that clap. That clap is great. That sounds really good. Whew. All right, thank you, Xerix. Boz, member for 22 months. Holy smokes. We'd love to see it. Comment Beats, thank you for stopping by. Appreciate you. Before we listen to this next track, a lot of questions in chat. If you have already joined and are struggling to connect to Discord, exclamation point new member, as Bishop has been holding it down, reminding everybody. If you are confused about how to submit music and you are not a member yet, check the pinned message, check the instructions, figure it out. I have went to the member perks and I do not see any links to your Discord. Well, Dick, it's been typed multiple times in chat. There is this message here, new member, link your Discord and YouTube account. That gives you specific instructions on how to do it. That's the most help I can give at this moment. I do expect members of the community to be like independent people, so I'm not trying to be a jerk and not help people out, but I do think there is a sort of filtering process here where it's like, you got to just follow the instructions and you'll be able to find where to go. If you're having issues with the process, like sometimes it gets messed up, we can help, but you got to at least take the first basic steps of following the instructions and using the link. People are sharing stuff in chat, so just make sure you're paying attention. That's all. People are helping. Don't just be like, I'm having a problem. Pay attention to what people are saying and what has already been typed in chat. Joshua Ho, hope rises at first light. We'll probably close submissions in about 8 minutes. So if you have not submitted yet, if you've not become a member yet, now's the time. Movie trailer vibes. Hey, Dick, if you read that article, you can figure out how to link your Discord and your YouTube account. Don't worry about what everybody else does. This is what we do here. This is how it works. Read the article and you will get in the Discord. I promise. Back to the peaceful vibes. perfect mood. Beautiful. Joshua Ho music. Play the song I want this to play. Why is it playing a different song? Eesh. All right. Woo. Beautiful, and just organically builds the entire time, right? Like y'all, like if you had to analyze this track, you could very clearly articulate why it's effective and how it builds, from starting with just the piano to bringing in a rhythmic element to a bass line and vocals. There's an artist I used to listen to called Radical Face that had very similar production. Joshua, I definitely recommend you listen to Radical Face or check them out. Not sure if they still make music or anything. And notice it never gets like, there's never like smashing drums or like big stuff. It very organically builds. It stays at a certain chill mood, but also evolves, right? Also evolves. You should submit this. You should do a movie soundtrack, Joshua Ho. I don't know what to say. I have no criticism. Well done. Okay, and before I keep pointing out people's artwork and how it doesn't fit, if you clicked on this with this artwork, I think it's a good... Oh, and this is also Josh released this on the Jazz Cafe, which is great. You look at that artwork, and this is the track you're hearing. The expectations are there, right? Good pairing. Another W from Joshua Ho. Good job. Well done. Nearly 50K. Oh, let's give a follow. Nearly 50K monthly listeners. Sheesh. People in the community doing real things. And after this track, we're closing submissions. So this is last call. If you are confused, I want you to know that there are over 350 other people that all somehow figured out how to get into the Discord by following the instructions that we have provided, either by typing !new member or the exact same article link, which is posted into the membership perks. It's all there. Getting in the Discord is very easy. Just requires a couple steps. I promise you can do it. Of course, if you are unwilling to take those steps, it's not much I can do for you here. I'm sorry. Peace and love. Peace and love. We want you to be part of the community. I promise it's a great community to be in. But I do hold my community to a very high standard. And part of that is being able to just, not want everything specifically laid out for you. Emilio, what are your thoughts on the Akai MPK Mini Plus? I don't know. You should probably watch my video on it, and questions about MIDI controllers like that, boom, instant timeout. What do you got for us today? Faded? Oh, one take video? Is this going to be live?
Feel so lost, show me the way. I feel like
different style
can't
faded.
take the pain today. I don't wanna die, but it feels that way. I feel so lost, show me the way. In this maze I'm so lost, I need to escape at all cost. I'm amazed that I got in this way in the first place. Now my heart's in the worst way, I can't face all this torment. It's got me questioning myself and what I present. It's a stare down, it's very intense. This face I resent, I repent for all of my wrongs. In all of my songs, you can hear all of the pain. You can see through the storm and the rain. I wish I could forget, but it's too complex and it cuts deep. You have to stay strong, it ain't for the weak. But I can't take all the torture, the flames from my past will scorch you. The demons will come out and haunt you.
Ooh.
Feel so lost, show me the way. I feel like I can't take the pain today. I don't wanna die, but it feels that way. I feel so lost, show me the way. I feel so lost, show me the way. I feel like I can't take the pain today. I don't wanna die, but it feels that way. I feel so lost, show me the way. I wish wish I could turn back time and rewind just to find my old self. I can't take all the pain and I feel so drained, so I'm gonna have to leave it all on the shelf. I can't take it no more, my heart's so sore and I can't handle it like a door that's broken. My heart's been open, I wear it on my sleeve like a token. The lyrics I write is me coping, without it I feel like I'm choking. And these thoughts are provoking me, my mind's so cloudy it's smoky. Gee, I'm not joking, it's hard to see. It's like I'm blinded from all the hate inside and it bothers me. I try to look in the mirror but I hate this side and it ought to be anxiety. I'm drowning, I'm sinking, there's no time for thinking. My heart is beating so
No
fast.
time for thinking.
My eyes are so dry from the tears I cry. God knows that I tried. Feel so lost, show me the way. I feel like I can't take the pain today. I don't wanna die, but it feels that way. I feel so lost, show me the way. Feel so lost, show me the way. I feel like I can't take the pain today. I don't wanna die, but it feels that way. I feel so lost, show me the way.
Awesome. Faded. Thank you for sharing that with us. Well done, Faded. Very good. I don't have a lot of critical feedback. What I'll point out is, all right, Chris Ortiz, sorry, you're banned. You're in timeout. You keep stun locking me with this. It's like, unfortunately, it's not for you. Take a little time out, come back.
Feel so lost.
Or don't. It's up to you. Faded, great work. Really great work. I think this is a tried and true format, I guess you could say, or like song style. Really catchy, melodic sung hook, rap verses. Perfect formula. You've put it together in the perfect formula. I think more of this from you, you'll see great results. And also, since I don't have like musical critical feedback here, it's like, okay, now what are you doing to promote this music? Sure, this YouTube video is fine, but how are you using like TikTok, Instagram, Reels, get the music out there, interesting ways, paying attention to trends over there so that more people can hear your song, even use your song in their content. That's the next step, because the music is here. So now you need to find the people. Now you need to explode it out and find all the people. Marketing. Yes, DJ Green Alert. Yes, marketing. Get it out there. You've nailed down the production stuff, the songwriting, you've got it. Okay, now blow it up. And we had that other, even though this is a different style, we had that other track with vocals where I was talking about vocal production varying from section to section. Even though this is a completely different genre, if you're a vocalist out there, you should be able to use any style of vocal music to be like, oh shoot, his verse sounds like this, and the chorus sounds like this, and it's effective. It's so much better than if the vocal just sounded exactly the same throughout. Y'all should not lock yourself in to specific genres and only use references from specific genres. Like if you're making lo-fi, you should be taking references from all the other genres of music that you like and applying it to your lo-fi beats. If y'all like writing songs, you should be taking references from all different types of songs. Yes, the genre that you're working in, but there's techniques you can learn from all genres. If you start to unlock that and you're learning lessons from everywhere, you will progress so much faster.
I'm drowning, I'm sinking, there's no time for thinking.
Folks, go subscribe to Faded. Faded, did you put this song out? I know you had a song coming out. Is this it? Drop it. Drop the track. That's all I have to say. Good job, Faded. We got to keep things moving. All right, submissions are closed. If somebody could type that in chat, submissions closed, that would be helpful. If you have already joined but are waiting for like the Discord to refresh or whatever, you can still get in there. But if somebody in Discord could just type submissions closed, that would be great. That would help me a lot. Oh gosh, we have so much more music to listen to. Jen Lu. Thank you, DJ Green Alert. And from here out, we can just... There's just too many people that like want it spoon-fed to them. Like, how do I submit? How do I do this? How do I do this? How do I do this? We've done all we can at this point. So unless somebody new comes in and is like completely lost, we don't got to keep answering the same people over and over again. Jen Lu. That's Faded's channel, Plux Music. It's very sweet, lullaby-ish track. Oh, I didn't see a 4-to-the-floor bass coming. Oh, we're moving. I don't know what to think about this. Wow. I'm not like smiling or laughing or anything because I think the track is bad at all. I'm smiling and laughing because it's like exciting and like funny and like it goes so hard for no reason. Like the beginning, it's like, okay, this moody thing I can picture like Pokemon Town, walking around in one of the like darker towns at night. And then it just goes off the rails. Then shit is going down. And then it goes harder. Now, hear me out, chat. Imagine if you take the MIDI from this track and you do like rock, like metal instruments instead of this instrumentation. It almost would become like this epic, like Power Rangers theme-esque music. I'm not saying that it would be better that way. I'm just saying that it would work, I think, pretty well. I have no feedback for this. I don't know what I would say. It sounds really cool. It sounds really fun and exciting. I don't know, like, go into making music for games, I think it would fit perfect. Or some animation or something. Like, there's definitely a story being told here. And it's exciting, and it made me smile. Good job, Jen-Lu. Like, more of this, I guess? I was definitely experimenting. Well, the ideas are dope. Like the idea, the sounds, I'll say all the sounds fit together well. Nothing stood out to me as not fitting. So you did a great job on sound selection. The arrangement and the composition, generally, how this track builds, fantastic. I have no idea what this music sits on the shelf next to. But if you can find where that is and find a place for it to sit on the shelf next to other big music so you can get more attention on it, that will be the key. Great. Whew. That was fantastic. Waiting for Thursday. Ro, good one in chat. Who's gonna tell them? Who's gonna tell them? That's what we do here. So yes, if you don't know, we do this every other month. We go for about 3 hours every single time. Members can always submit. As you can see in the Discord, I told members at the beginning of this week or over the weekend that they could start submitting. So there's that. And I close the submissions when I feel we have enough submissions and I'll be at the capacity by the time we get to the end of them. That's how it works. Become a member if you want to submit for next time. You also get a bunch of other perks with being a member. Let's hear Technicolor by Waiting for Thursday. It's a secret, Rick. It's a secret. You can't know the Discord name. I'm sorry. I know. You're fine, bro. Just playing games. We're just playing. Just playing. Rick is still so confused. No one has given the server invite. How do I get the server invite? But bro, welcome to the community. She says, to be honest, I can't remember how I got Discord to work. You only have to do it once. That's the key. You only have to do it once. You only have to take 2 minutes of concentration to get it to work. Frisco says kind of new age, cool vibe. I get it. Yeah, new age vibes from that synth, right? you're missing the point. Rick has skipped a very important step. Rick is trying to skip a very important step into getting into the Discord. Yurik, thank you for submitting and hanging out and for all your support. Of course. We're all going to do better next time. We're all trying to do better than our last. So no worries on that front. You can do it. Okay. Of course, Spotify is paying. Thank you. Waiting for Thursday for that submission. It is a very simple, relaxed track, right? Oh, Malcolm says night driving to this one. Yes, I think night driving, that's good imagery for that. The little retro TV and kind of hazy desert sunset situation we got going on in the artwork. I can also see that vibe. I think my one piece of feedback is I think the track would feel a bit more cohesive and connected if it felt like the synths and the drums were EQ'd in a similar way. None of the synths have any brightness. They've all got all the high end rolled off, whereas the drums have a lot of crisp on top, and the vinyl crackle is sitting there in the highest part of the frequency spectrum of this track, I think. So I wonder if the drums were like slightly more saturated and had a little bit more of the highs rolled off. I wonder if it would sound a bit more together. I think that's probably just a personal thing. But I think as a laid back, relaxing track, like Malcolm said, night driving, I think it sounds pretty good. And that's a great melody. The sound selection is great. And the way the drums are not quite quantized, very natural feeling. That hi-hat slightly behind. Well done. That's a nuance that's a nuance that takes a while to get, but you've done it well, my friend, so good job. Let's get Erod. Bottom feeder. P-Star, they need an audio interface if they're doing a podcast. Okay. There's a mystery afoot here. P-Star, I think you can do research on that and figure it out based on the needs. Interesting, Erod. Different hip-hop kind of vibe here, eh? Oh, see how simple this track is, but when it introduces the little ear candy, it makes it pop. I will say from a mix perspective, that bass is super loud. Much louder than anything else. A bit too loud, I would say. And that's smart. Going from that sub 808 kind of bass to now this 80s-ish. See like a moment of silence there. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun. Nice. Yeah, keeps it simple, but it's still an interesting production to listen to. I'm listening to it thinking that there would be a top line on it for sure. A rapper, a singer, etc. Probably a rapper. But even though it is simple, there's enough variation throughout that made it interesting. Good little ear candy pieces, good difference in the sections. I mean, going from using one bass to another, that's a perfect way to separate sections in a genre like this. Not a technique that I normally use, so I'm glad it's being showcased here. Little mysterious piano thing. I think the number one thing to improve on here is the mix. The bass is very, very, very loud. Not in a way that it's like, oh, that bass is bumping kind of loud. You can still have a bumping bass and have everything mixed appropriately. Other elements are a bit too quiet. I gotta crank the volume just to hear the other elements, but then that way makes the bass way, way, way too loud, you know? So try to balance everything. Listen at a low volume and see what's coming through the most. If you listen to this at a very low volume, that bass cuts through, man. If you listen to it at a very high volume, you can also tell what it's too overpowering, etc. Use both of those kind of listening exercises to mix. Get everything mixed properly. Like the piano is nice and eerie and reverby and in the background. That's fine. It could come up a little bit. I don't want to have to strain to hear it. Things like EQ and reverb give us the sense that it's far away. In this instance, you don't have to pull it so far back in the volume, I think. But mix, 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 and then find yourself a rapper to collaborate with and get on top of this. Or like get Splice or something like that and throw a top line Splice melody on it. Just for testing purposes, to showcase, you know. Niskovic says, I just started getting into MIDI and I've been watching your teaching vids. I am watching your Ableton Beginner series, even though I don't use it because you cover the process so well. Thank you so much. I'm glad that series is helping you. Urad says, could you mention the transitions? Didn't notice anything about the transitions to say. Which is probably a good thing. Yeah, so you're doing the thing where you're using like a little effect sound. There's filtering here. You're doing pickups. I mean, one of the reasons I didn't mention it, I think, is because you're doing them well. So I think you're doing a good job with your transitions. And that is important because I think the ease of switching between a certain kind of sound, like one bass sound to another or whatever, to do that on the drop of a dime would be quite jarring. But what you do when you use these transitional sounds, and you're telling your listener, hey, something new is coming, so that when there's change, it's like, okay, I understand that there's change now, you know? Well done, Erod. Sino Productions, first month of making music. Some background playing instruments, but never wrote or created anything before. This is my first attempt at using Arrangement View in Ableton Live. Let's hear it. Zirk says, had a work thing, so I was a little late to the party. Thanks, TAETRO, for all the feedback and appreciate all the positive words from everybody. Thank you, Zirix, and thank you for the 22 months. Yeah. Haven't used that button in a while. All right, so first month of making music here. It's a little too soft. Ooh. Those drums are a bit too loud. I like the chord progression and the synth sounds. Cool. Like good overall arrangement and good musical ideas here. Good playing. The guitar solo was great. I can tell they have instrumental skills. So of course now, like you just said in chat, mixing needs work for sure. Yes, that's the number one thing you can do to improve this track. Mixing, mixing, mixing. And you can even see it looking at the waveform here in SoundCloud. You can see those drums come in and things get much louder. And then by the end here, you have more loud elements, so it gets much louder. I'm not saying the track shouldn't have dynamics, but it's a key thing to look at, right? Those drums are so loud, much louder than everything else. And your guitar should shine, but it has like no high end in it, right? I think if you since you have the instrumental background, if you picture a band playing in a room, right? When the band is playing together in a room, it sounds like they're all playing together. The space, they're all in the same space, so that has implications for the sound. We want to create the same kind of thing for our mixes. We want to basically create the illusion of that. So like where these synths are super subdued or in the background, just by being quiet, they kind of are close to us, but they're a little too quiet. Then when those drums come in, it's like I'm standing in front of the drum kit, to like continue with the room analogy. You want to be the listener. You want to be standing in front of the whole band arranged appropriately, and you're getting that natural sound. So try to picture that when you're doing the mixing. So stuff like the drums being too loud is going to really stick out to you. Where are you standing in the room? Oh, you're standing right next to the snare drum. That's why the snare sounds too loud, right? And that will for sure help. You can use the stereo field with that. You can use levels with that, but make sure the thing you want people to pay attention to is the loudest. And make sure the other parts that are part of just the landscape are mixed appropriately and out of the way of the thing that needs to be in the front. But musical ideas are good here. Keep working on the mix. I was nervous as hell for this. Don't be nervous. You have a very supportive community here that wants to support you. So embrace that. Well done. And hey, there's a lot of people that come into production that have no instrumental skills, so they're learning basics of music and basics of production at the same time. So you're like one step ahead of a lot of people if you've got instrumental skill. Rozzy is up next, but somebody asked, are you switching to Twitch, TAETRO? Plex Music. I'll be streaming on Twitch tomorrow. I'll be doing a lot of streaming on Twitch. We'll be streaming, these normal streams will be happening still on YouTube, but more streams will be happening on Twitch. So go give a follow on Twitch. The link is in the chat. Nightbot posted it not too long ago. I would appreciate it. Rozzy is here. Good groove. There was some weird bass thing happening in my right ear. It's not there anymore. there is something. Is that? There's something on the sub level and to the left. I don't know what it is. I wonder, Razzie, if you are you playing notes in, or are you drawing them in the piano roll? Second week of studying music production, by the way. Second week of studying music production. Razzie, good job. Razzie says, I draw them in. Don't have a MIDI controller yet. Yes, I can tell you draw in the notes. And here's how I know you draw in the notes. Let's talk about the piano chords. The piano chords, while they are playing a good chord progression, they are very robotic sounding here. Because when you draw them in, they're all getting drawn in and they're all at the same velocity. Meaning they're at like the same level. Dun, 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 dun. And that can sound very robotic. Whereas if you were a piano player, an actual piano player would be playing the keys and each hit would have a slightly different velocity. It would be hit slightly harder, slightly softer. And that pattern of how soft or how hard they would play would be musical, right? Like it might build dun, 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 dun. Or it might have to do with like accents. Dun, 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 dun. Does that make sense? Now you don't have a MIDI controller yet, so that is one thing. But it's not impossible for you to create patterns like that. So you can look at the MIDI and pay attention to the velocity of each of those notes. And similarly to how you're drawing in notes, you can now draw in like curves for that velocity based on, make a musical choice based on that, like I just demonstrated. Where should the emphasis be? So where should the hits be harder? Where should the hits be softer? And that goes across all of your instruments. That's like your percussion, your melodic instruments, your chords, all of it. When you're just drawing in notes to make it a more human and more natural, less robotic sounding feel, velocity plays a big role. Intentional velocity. The kick on a downbeat should probably be harder than the kick that comes just before it. Dum, 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 dum. Whatever you want to emphasize, right? A hi-hat pattern tss, 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 sounds a lot more natural if that velocity is very tss, 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 tss. So that's one thing that you can go in and instantly sort of improve this track, which I should say, very interesting musical ideas. Really hits the ground running though, I'll say. So for your songwriting and your composition, by the way, that velocity thing comes through in the melody. Dun 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 dun. It's a good melody, but it's very like chop 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 because there's kind of no variation. It's very straight ahead. You could probably swing some notes. Dun 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 dun. Like some variation in the rhythm there maybe. But anyway, compositionally, an introduction for a track exists to set the tone. It exists to preview some things to come. It sets the listener up for the experience that they're about to be in. You don't need a long drawn out intro, but I think an intro could have served this track well because it kind of just hits us quickly with a lot of motion and we're already right in it. We're going to get a lot of this groove later, so why not do a little bit more in the first 10-ish seconds to build to it rather than drop us right into it. So that's one compositional note and then one technical note there on the velocities, but you can take that and run with it. This is only your second week studying music production. You can go far. Stick with it. Stick with it. We hope we'll hear more submissions the more you stick with music production. All right. And Donnie Martinez from Mexico. And Donnie, I wanted to share a little bit of my music unreleased. Check it out. Check it out. Juma says, I've learned many lessons from you today, TAETRO. Thank you for your beautiful feedback. I'm glad, Juma. I hope everybody can realize that too. It's just because if it's not your track getting reviewed, there's still things you can take and learn from the tracks or from the criticism of the tracks, etc. Oh my gosh, we have so many more tracks. All right, here's the volume. Another one where the drums are too loud. Mostly just the snare though, I think. Ooh. Beautiful piano stuff here. So I think this track is most beautiful and better sounding when there's less things happening, which can point to a couple things, like maybe the mix should be improved, or maybe it's an orchestration thing, like maybe there's too many musical ideas or things getting in the way of each other. Well, let's try to examine it a little further. Of course, I think the like fluty stuff, the string stuff, the piano stuff, that all blends together really well. Here, I'm not sure if I agree with the choice of like the smacking kick drum. I'm not sure if that fits the vibe. I stand by that. I think the drums are a bit too loud. So here, where this happens, this vocal sample comes in, and it's a good vocal sample. I like it. But it kind of gets lost behind everything. I don't know if maybe the strings need to get spread a bit more and the piano needs to come down a little bit in this section, but we gotta make room for that vocal sample because it is playing a cool melody and our ears are naturally going to be drawn to it. So let's make space for it. In every track that you make, when things come in and out, oh, this is playing the melody now, then it goes away, now a new instrument is playing the melody, etc. Your mix doesn't need to stay the same throughout the whole song. So if you have something that's in the forefront here and it needs to become part of the background so something else can be part of the forefront later, you need to do that with automation. Get things out of the way, move things in and out. Most things probably don't need to be the same exact volume throughout your whole track. They probably need to be adjusted based on all the other things that are happening. But you have a beautiful soundscape here. I think the sound selection is spot on. It's just making it all work together. We got in that little reverb fade out of the vocal. That's a great way to let go of it, right? And the other note is like piano, strings, all this, they have all got a heavy mid-range, right? So they're bound to make things muddy. Pay attention to that. but that's good. I really love you've set a beautiful setting here. Good job. Well done. And Doni, thank you for that submission. Notification is up next. Somebody said a really nice thing in chat. And I always lose it. Well, first of all, Sidechop says you haven't streamed in 4 years. That's right. I'm coming back to Twitch. Haven't streamed in 4 years, but I'll be back on it tomorrow. Somebody said no two tracks sound the same. And I think that's a really good compliment. Yes. All the tracks, this whole community, a bunch of different style producers. All different music makers from all around the world. You can make any kind of music and submit it here. KO, you can do it. Use that mobile app to your advantage. If I was starting today, I'd probably work on an iPad exclusively for budget reasons. That piano sample has got to not be auto-panned. All right. If you are doing any panning, this is a new community rule. If you are doing any panning and you pan something all the way to the right or all the way to the left, you better have a damn good reason for it. In fact, most of the time, you should not be panning something all the way to the right or all the way to the left. There's very specific instances where you will do that. Panning something a little bit to the right or a little bit to the left, that has implications. That's a good idea, especially for mixing. Hard panning things is now you must file a written request before hard panning something to the right or left. You must now fill out 5 forms and submit them to me before you pan anything hard right or hard left. Pending approval. There will be an approval period of 30 days. You may not export your track until with this panning until you have received official approval. We will have a system. You must fill out the forms. You must get consent. I just feel like people are randomly panning stuff. Why? Just because you have the control to do something doesn't mean you have to do it. Just because it's easy to do doesn't mean you have to do it. So all I'm saying is this is a dope hip hop boom bap, dark, dusty. Yes, I think that's all. Yes. But the main sample, the main dum dum dum. Is that a piano sample? The main piano sample is just panned to the right. Why is it panned to the right? Sorry, the left. I have my headphones on backwards.
Doctor.
I'm still not in my head though. Wonder if this was made on 404. I'm really worried about what's happening. What's about to happen. I think if the beat ended before this happened, I would be happy. I have no idea what's going on with this bass. The like kick just got so boxy. Why? What happened? The old kick was fine. Melody's not bad. It's just like so loud and out of nowhere. Alright, there's some cool stuff, like the chimes are cool. The fact that this is kind of going off the rails at the end is like kind of cool with some of the organy stuff. But I don't understand why the kick changed. That kick sounds terrible. You got to go back to the old kick. And it really sounds like you worked hard on the first half of this track. Like even this little interlude thing is cool. If we came back to sort of like this as a hook and it got better and like it evolved, that'd be cool. But the turn it takes here just makes it seem like you rushed or just like did random stuff for this second half. You can see in the waveform that the second half is radically different than the first half, which would be fine if it sounded good. It doesn't sound good. Like there's some decent ideas, but you kind of just gave up on all the stuff that sounded good about this side, right? So like pay as much attention to this part as you did this part, especially mixing wise. Get rid of that kick. That second half, it ain't working. It took a turn. You had a good thing, and then it just went off the rails. Keeping it moving. Liam is up next. Motive Bravo. Astral Surfing. We'll listen at least to the first 3 minutes of this track. Cool. Little stuff like that, like pausing the beat, makes it so much more interesting. Now, do we stay here forever, or does it go somewhere? That will be the make or break. Okay, I'm pleased. Ooh. Well done. Ooh. And then we're back in it. That's a B section, folks. That was a proper, well done B section. How do we justify going another minute and a half? Let's see. since it's doing the 80s synthwave thing, I think there's a lack of tom fills. I think if we could evolve this section at the end a bit more, tom fills. One thing I see you all saying, more ARP, more ARP. Dun, 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 dun. That arpeggiation, you layer that with an octave up. Dun, 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 dun. For this end part, that would elevate it. Good job, Motive Bravo. Like I said, I would listen to the first 3 minutes and we got through the whole thing. That means you did a really good job of keeping things interesting. Every time I had a question of like, okay, we're in this main groove, but how will it evolve? Perfect B section that completely contrasts the original without being too far out of left field. And then an ending that does pretty well. I think the ending could have been beefed up a bit, but because it was such a good synthwavy kind of sound, it did well on its own, but I think a little more could happen at the end here. We could get a little crazier if we wanted. Tom Phil's on the list to learn, yeah. For that ending, just to kick that ending up a notch. All right, we got a funk track by Boz. Phil Collins style, yes. We've been live for 2 hours, 22 minutes. Don't forget to like the stream if you're here chilling. Feeling a little long, to be honest. Like, I think this section could have come a little quicker. Like, we probably could have X'd out 8 bars here. I'm not mentioning the vocals because I don't understand if this is just like how this genre is, where it's supposed to be like low and in the background, or if I'm supposed to understand what the person is saying. If I'm supposed to understand what the person is saying, they gotta come up a bit. Jen Lu says, I like the sax. I also like the sax as a cool. Funk is just like a little all over the place for me, but in a cool way. What's up, Piccolo Boak? If there's gonna be like a proper rap over it, maybe it would be better. But the thing about having the vocals that way is I just feel frustrated as a listener the whole time because I cannot understand what the vocalist is saying. Overall, I think all the elements are cool. Like, I think the musical ideas are cool, but I think it's like kind of a lot of the same. Again, the test for that is if I click in the first quarter of your track, then I click in the last quarter of your track. If it's relatively the same material, that's tough. However, having a top line vocalist on this, that changes everything because they can create the variation that's needed. So if there was a rapper on it, it might sound better. Might justify the length a bit more. But cool sounds. Funk is cool. I don't really know what's going on in that genre, but you all seem tapped in who are in it. So respect. E-Rally. Didn't we already... Did I just talk to E-Rally? We didn't listen to E-Rally? That kick is in my brain. Oh my god, that tambourine is way too loud. Nice, Boz. Congrats on the success on that. It's dreamy, and I like the low bass. Ooh, but yeah, levels are all over the place, my friend. Compression is your friend. You don't want somebody to have to ride first real beat in Ableton. Well, congrats to you, first of all. But yeah, you don't want people to have to ride the volume fader the whole time. You want things to be relatively level the whole time. Look at this waveform. We're seeing those hits go way above everything else, right? So I also like those overdriven bass notes. I like that. Cool. Like similar advice to Raz with that tambourine track, especially. First of all, it's got to come way down volume wise. A big bright sound is always going to stick out on top of everything else. So you don't have to mix it as loud as everything else. In fact, you should be more careful about big bright sounds and how loud they are in your mix because they will naturally stick out. In a similar way that I was talking about with Raz, velocity automation on those, or just velocity variation on those tambourine hits will help a lot, be less robotic. Also bringing the volume down, moving it slightly to the right. Slight panning. You don't have to fill out an approval form for this one. Just a slight pan to the right. Maybe a 10 to the right or left, whichever you prefer. But good job on your first piece of music in Ableton Live. Compressor is your friend to keep those dynamics in check. Pay attention to that mix. Make sure the thing that should be the loudest is the loudest. Like and you check that low mix check. If I lower it to this far, I can basically only hear the tambourine. That means that tambourine is the loudest thing in the music. But I kind of see where you're going here with these synth sounds and that heavy bass or whatever. So keep making stuff. I'm excited as your skills grow to see where the music goes. Dotki says switched it up a bit. Can't be without you. Beattober 2022. That's last year, and this is 7 hours ago. Just saying. That's cool. Why is it only a minute long? If this is just like a clip demo or something, well, it says Beatober, so maybe it was from Beatober. But make an intro. Don't just drop us in on the drums, I think. Like maybe introduce that vocal. Longer than this. It's too short. I also think, what's up with the high end? It sounds like the master has a low pass filter on it or something. But it's a cool dancey track. I just think it needs to be developed more. Maybe even make it into a performance. Clip launching and stuff. It was making me move. Rashane says, my first single. I'm going to do a YouTube because this is easier. Okay, give it up for Rashane's first single. The horn honking. I'm not a fan. Don't sigh at me.
Man, I'm tired of this. Aren't you tired of lying, miss? Man, I'm tired of this. Aren't you tired of lying, sir? Man, I'm tired of this. Aren't you tired of lying, miss? Man, I'm tired of this. Really tired of this. How did we get so screwed up as a society? They always fucking trying me. They always fucking lying to me. They always telling me I don't see what I see. Even the possibility that they're more fucked up than they believe. Man, I'm tired of this. Aren't you tired of lying, miss? Man, I'm tired of this. Aren't you tired of lying, sir? Man, I'm tired of this. Aren't you tired of lying, miss? Man, I'm tired of this. Really tired of this. We only here because of they shit. All these excuses, then just seeing the facts. Too many dirty Air Force Ones. I'm really over this bitch. Man, I just wanna quit, but where am I gonna go? Stuck in this reality of hell, cause not like Elon's taking me to Mars with him. Nah,
Facts.
he ain't.
And clean your Air Force Ones.
Man, I'm tired of this. Aren't you tired of lying, miss? Man, I'm tired of this. Aren't you tired of lying, sir? Man, I'm tired of this. Aren't you tired of lying, miss? Man, I'm tired of this. Really tired of this. So sick and tired of the bullshit and the games. It's like nothing seems to change. They just fake care about our pain. I might be used to it, but I'm over it. I keep it pushing, it's all the same. They try to rock our fits, but the drip ain't the same. The effort was in vain now. Wait, I don't get a break. Somehow they're convinced that we're never fucking gonna break. Man, I'm tired of this. Aren't you tired of lying, miss? Man, I'm tired of this. Aren't you tired of lying, sir? Man, I'm tired of this. Aren't you tired of lying, miss? Man, I'm tired of this. Really tired of this. Man, I'm tired of this. Aren't you tired of lying, miss? Man, I'm tired of this. Aren't you tired of lying, sir? Man, I'm tired of this. Aren't you tired of lying, miss? Man, I'm tired of this. Really tired of this.
Man, I'm going to sleep.
LOL. Well, congrats, Rashane, on your first single. Congrats. 2023, putting out the music. That's what we like to hear. Very catchy hook. Hook verse, good. Tried and true. Similar to what I said about Faded. Tried and true format. Structure. I don't know what's going on for the master, but for next time, there is some kind of compression, almost like chaining, like there's some wavering on like the piano or something. I don't know if something is sidechained to something. It doesn't sound like it's the kick sidechained to something, but it's sounding a bit over compressed, and the field recording is coming out super loud. And it's like panning, and it's kind of pulling away from your vocal. The lyric is really strong. That line about Elon is very funny. More of that. So I think for you, Rashane, it's about like where the next 10 singles. Like for you to get to the place you want to be and the quality you want to be at, you got to be in like work mode. Like you got to be pumping tracks out. The next one a little bit better. The next one a little bit better. By the time you get to track 10, boom. Like that's so much better than this one. Because the writing is there. The ideas are there. I think the production's got to come up a level. I could tell you paid attention to the ad-libs. Production on those. That was well done. So thank you for sharing that.
Aren't you tired of lying, miss? Man, I'm tired of this. Aren't you tired of lying, sir? Man, I'm tired of this. Aren't you tired of lying?
Tell me you all won't be singing that to yourselves when we leave the stream today. Or y'all be working on something. You'll be working on a song. And you'll be like kind of over it. You're going to be working on that. You're going to be like, man, I'm tired of this. Man, I'm tired of this. Be stuck in my head the rest of the day. Image Teach says, hi, TAETRO. I'm learning a lot from these videos. Keep it flowing. Thank you so much. Kira Gold says, psh, tired of this. Exactly. Tired of this stream. Spicy Fox. There's only one way to find out if his fox is spicy. First track ever from Spicy Fox. That's level 23 Volpix in chat. Where's the kick drum? All right, Spicy Fox. The whole thing sounds like an intro. It's 2 minutes of an intro. Or it's like kind of like diegetic game music or movie music, like it like is meant to be in a game or something, right? If this was on an album, if this had context on the album as an interlude or as an intro to something, I'd be fine with that. But I think I'm waiting for, like, there's good musical ideas here. There's good bass. There's a good chord progression. There's a good almost groove with the hi-hat and snare, but it never comes out. The filter never lifts. The kick never drops, etc. So I think it's a good idea. This is like a sketch. If it could exist as just an interlude and there was context for that, that would work. But if it's trying to be a standalone piece, I'm not convinced. It's good, though. Jen Lu says this in chat. It's good, though. I agree. The music is good. It's an idea, though. It's definitely not a finished track, in my opinion. I think that's your next task. Spicy Fox, your next task. Either give this context so that it makes sense or make it into a full track. You said in the chat, working on visual identity as an artist, I need to find someone to correct my text. I want you to forget about your visual identity as an artist and someone to correct your text and focus completely on your music first. All right, we got a friend from the Czech Republic up next, Lucas. Where do I get my metronome sound? It's an option in Ableton Live. You can change your metronome sound in Ableton Live. No secrets there. Just Google how to change your metronome sound in Ableton Live. Chainsmokers track incoming. JK. My new track is dropping tomorrow. Pre-save link is in the chat right now. Oh. That's ready. Thank you, Piccoloback. That gestural synth is cool. It's just like too loud. That so loud, so much louder than everything else. There's a big epicness to this track in the synths, in the music, in the chord progression, the way it's building. It's not quite delivering on the epicness that it's foreshadowing, though. Like, we had a very nice 1 minute long intro that kind of did a deceptive drop, but then when the drop finally came, it wasn't big enough, in my opinion. Like this implies that we're gonna get a huge drop. These snare fills and everything. There's this like kabasa, like shaker thing happening that's way too loud and distracting. I don't think the proper forms were filled out to do that panning. Like, there's even blasting trumpets and brass there, right? All right, look, so my advice for this track. I've joked and said, oh, Chainsmokers track incoming or whatever, because it needs the pom, 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 pom. Like, not exactly like that, but it needs to hit. Like, everything is telling me that it's gonna hit, but it never does. You got these big airy synths, this uplifting chord progression. You even got the snares, this big snare thing happening, and then it never, like, the drum groove is not doing it. It's just kind of like a tropical house vibe with all the trappings of an energetic poppy banger. And since it doesn't deliver on the poppy banger thing, it's a little bit underwhelming. That's my take, but thank you, Lucas, for submitting. Nascent uploaded directly to the Discord. Killing me. Untitled, codename Donkey Rev 2. That's quite the name. Nascent. 100 Gex vibes. Honestly, it's like very hyper poppy, nascent. But you need in that, I think if you adopt like a more poppy style song structure, it will serve the tune because it never lets off this. It doesn't really let off this energy. So you got to make a section where the energy is let off. And I'm hearing something like something with a chord progression that evolves, filters in, the drums are gone, but they build up to come back in. If you got a high energy track, if it's high energy the whole time, that will burn your listener out. Your listener will get exhausted. So you have to build tension and release. With this, it's just all energy the whole time. Kind of like the opposite problem of the last track, right? Like the last track was like building and never quite hit the energy level it needed to hit. This track, Nascent, is kind of at an 11 the whole time. And you take this break here, but it's still got the frenetic ARP stuff happening, right? Build an entirely new section that doesn't have any of those same musical ideas. You can use the same instrumentation, but contrast these musical ideas. It's a good start, for sure. Thank you, Nascent, for submitting that. Thank you for being one of the longest standing members. CJ's up next. CJ, I'm looking at this waveform. I'm not trying to make a judgment off the waveform, but look at it. If you go upload a song that you really love to SoundCloud and see what it looks like, or go find a song that you really love on SoundCloud and see what the waveform looks like. Tell me what it looks like compared to this. You already know the answer, of course. So that implies something, right? Thank you, Juma. Thank you to everybody who's been hanging out. I know some people have been coming in and out. It's a long stream. I know not everybody can chill, but thanks for everybody who's stuck around and hang out. Ethan says, could you continue the music theory series? If you tell me, what do you want to do next in the music theory series? Johnny says, hey, TAETRO, first let me say thanks for your music theory series. I just bought my first MIDI keyboard a week ago. I can play any major or minor of any note without previous piano experience. That's what we like to hear. Whew. I'm streaming tomorrow on Twitch, people. Don't forget. Go follow me on Twitch. Or 20 a.m. in India. Thanks, Juma. Okay. Dum, 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 dum. Ooh. The bass is taking up a lot of space. The bass line is good, but mix-wise, it's taking up a lot of space. A vocal or a melody? Yeah, for sure. I mean, right now, what you have is sort of just like a band jamming, right? I think you're right. If you wrote this with the rock style in mind, I think a vocal for sure could fit on top of this. There's also never quite a chorus. Like, I kind of like the synthy stuff that's building up here. Yeah, so it's kind of like, dun, 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 dun. Like this is just kind of one riff. This is kind of just one section, perhaps, of the song. Where's the chorus? So what would the chorus be? Well, here you're playing like really short chords. Dun, 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 dun. So where's the section that has? Dun, 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 dun. Think about your typical. Think about all the songs that you love. What do they do? And you're absolutely right to think about vocals, but I think flesh out this structure, like figure out what you want for a song structure. How are you bringing the listener on a journey before you think about that? If you are writing intentionally to have a vocalist on it, keep that in mind while you're writing, but flesh out this structure. Make it an actual structure that we want to get through and listen to. Like these are good musical ideas, but they just kind of sound like looped ideas that haven't really been arranged properly. EO says, hey, TAETRO, how's Korea? Maybe you're back in LA. I am back in LA. Will be back in Korea soon, so watch out. All my Korean chatters, where are you at? Moon Goat. Not my usual kind of song, but this was my submission for Armada Music's recent remix contest. Thank you, CJ. Thank you for the 8 months. Ooh. Oh. There are occasions when the vocals have a bit too much low end in them. And it's also like transitioning at too quick of a rate, right? Like you're not letting us hang on to the good parts because some of these parts are great. Like I'm like jamming to it, but then it's over. It's 4 bars instead of 8 bars. It's 8 bars instead of 16 bars. Also, you did that 3 times now. You only love me with the lights off. Where that soloed and did the transition. It's not as effective the 3rd time. It maybe worked the 1st and the 2nd time, but the 3rd time, it's not as exciting. You could subvert expectations by setting it up and then changing it. So now we're in an end section here that is fully in halftime. 3, 1, 3. The halftime feel is only effective is if you gave us enough of the full-time feel. Like, think of a song that you like that has gone to a halftime feel, and you've made the face like, wow. You did that because you spent so much time here, and this is awesome. The whole song has been at like full speed, full time, and then later it goes. But since all the previous iterations of the full time are like so short, it doesn't quite hit the same way to do. You give us that whole halftime section, but we never got a whole section of full time. But as I don't know what the original material sounds like, but to me it sounds like a great remix. But without knowing like the original source material, I wouldn't know how different it is or whatever. Continue the series about making melodies, rhythm, and chord progressions. I'll consider it, Ethan. All right, Ray. The intrigued viewer. I gotta go here. I'm excited for this. Ooh. Thank you, Moongoat. Appreciate you. I like this video concept. You're launching the clips, but we're seeing what each clip is played. That's smart. Cool. I don't agree with that effect. Recorded an improv jam, chopped it up into loops, improved playing them back. Improvised playing them back, then improvised the effect punch-ins. It's cool. I like the sound of the pan with the kalimba and the shaker. Like, this is all a very cool sound. They're all in kind of a big reverb, and all that reverb is creating a little bit of mud, and it's kind of making it all a little blend together a little too much. I would like to see the reverb pulled back a little bit so that each individual part could be heard. Make more in this style, but with better production. Yeah, I think this is a very cool style. Because the kalimba has a brightness that the pan doesn't really have since you're playing with soft melodies. So it should be pretty distinct, but it's starting to blend with the pan because of the reverb. Also, while I think this instrumentation is beautiful, the way you're building it up with energy, I'm looking for a low-end element. It could be a simple bass line. It could be a like a hitting the table sort of kick sound or something. Maybe you don't want that, but if a low sound came in, could fill a spot that the listener is kind of searching for. Do an experiment with this, with the track, and try pulling all the reverb off all the instruments. Then dial it in little by little onto each track to taste, with the intent of being subtle with it. And then create a second mix of the track, export that, where it's like a subtle reverb mix, and then this one, which is sort of like a heavy reverb mix. And just compare them. See which one is more pleasing to listen to, see which one gives you more clarity. Very cool. I would love to hear more of this, though. I like that style. I like the general music and the sounds, and I like the video style. So good job. Happy little hugs. Welcome to VIP. All right, 2 more tracks to listen to. Jiminator J. Thank you everybody who stuck with. We've been live for over 3 hours. Please don't forget to like the stream. Our next track review. Well, we'll have a members only workshop coming in April. I'll say that. I'll be live tomorrow on Twitch. Don't forget, if you're on Twitch and you haven't followed me yet, please give me a follow so you know when I go live. All right, this is getting dark and dangerous, Jiminator J. All right, I don't know like what's TOS in this. I'm not super comfortable. Not super comfortable with this footage, to be honest. Very dark though. So this is another funk track, eh? The structure is pretty good. It's hard hitting, and then we've morphed into this bridge section now. I'm down for that. What do you call that like specific funk synth that everybody uses? The like harmonized synth lead. Jiminator J, good job. Ding ding dong dong ding ding dong dong. Would like Haas effect on the pluck, but this is smooth. This is a very like important sound to this genre though. So you can hear how in this first chorus we've got that vocal thing happening, we got breaks in the drums, it's kind of subdued, but by the time we get to the end, the addition of that lead kind of helps it be the evolution, right? Overall, not super familiar with the funk genre, but to me, that sounded pretty good. Mixed well. Definitely interesting. Definitely sounds like other funk that I have heard. Thank you, Jiminator J. All right, Akira Gold as our last submission of the day. I want to thank everybody who's hung out and enjoyed the music. Okay, what I want to do is bring this down and bring this up. If you have final questions, final things that need to be said, now is the time to say them. Can I make more how-to vids? Can I make more how-to vids? The Beastmaster23 asked. How do you see how many videos a channel has? How? Somebody tell me. How do you see it? I used to know how to see it. To be honest, the Beastmaster, I have 600 plus videos on this channel. No, I cannot make more how-to vids. But I think if you spend a little time on the channel and watch every how-to vid that I have, then you can come back and ask that question. Akira Gold, interesting animation here. You guys have me worried with some of these visuals. What is this from? Don't know a single one of these artists. Yeah, like MF Doom, like Jedi Mind Tricks, like just weird dark stuff. This is such an unsettling cartoon. I really like that bass sound. This beat sounds good. I don't have the context of all these other artists that you're saying it's a type beat of, but I think if I heard a song like this, like with a rapper on it, I'd be like, what the hell is this beat? This is dope. So I'm looking for the top line, I guess. Cool. Well done, Akira Gold. Thank you for closing us out today with that strong one. I have no notes. The mix sounds good. I don't know the reference, so I can't really critique it based on that. If I heard a rapper on this, like I said, though, it would catch my attention. All my type beats are always a joke. Oh. That's funny. That's very funny. But it makes you seem like you're like some super hip, like underground producer who produces for all these like hip underground artists. That's very funny. Good job on that. Get a rapper on it. Okay, folks, that is bringing us to the end of our journey here. We're going to be live again tomorrow, but where are we going to be live, chat? This is a test. This is the quiz at the end of the class. This is Mr. Music 43 pretending like they are not Ethan. Oh, not Ethan asks, can you continue the music theory series like Ethan said? Class, where are we streaming tomorrow? Don't forget. Remember, class is going to be in a different room tomorrow. Does everybody remember what room it's going to be in? Don't forget, don't show up to this class. That's right. We're going to be on Facebook Live. Damn it. You're all trolls. Yes, give a follow. That's just the Twitch website. So don't click that. I promise I know what I'm doing. Oh my God, I'm just failing over here. Don't click that link. Click this link. Right? Click that follow button. Download the Twitch app. Get your Amazon Primes ready. Link your Amazon account to your Twitch account. And I want to say shout out to all the producers who submitted today. That was a lot of music. That was over 3 hours. I'm super proud of this community. Every time we do some of these streams, we get people that are submitting for the first time, which is epic. Congrats to all you on your journey and like taking the first steps. We get people who have been going at it and improving for a while. So shout out to all of you that are putting out music in 2023 and getting better and better, bettering your skills, all that good stuff. And my new music is dropping tomorrow. So if you could be so kind to give it a pre-save or just look for it out tomorrow, make sure you're following me on Instagram and Twitter, because when I have to announce stuff like, oh, we're going live on Twitch now, or oh, I just dropped this new thing, I'm going to announce it on Instagram and Twitter, most likely. Kier Gold says, I went to NAMM last year. Are you going again despite last year's setbacks? A bunch of us beatmakers, YouTubers had an awesome live jam last year. I might go. I haven't decided yet. We shall see. Maybe. Some people want me to go, but we'll see. All right, everybody. Thank you all so much. That's about all I can do for today. I'll see you all live again on Twitch tomorrow, on Twitch. I'll say it a million times. Thank you all. You're a great community. So positive. Loved all the submissions. Shout out to all the new members. Shout out to all the members that have been here. Some as long as 25 months. See y'all tomorrow. Thank you all so much for watching. This has been TAETRO. Have a good one. See you on Twitch tomorrow. Twitch. If I don't see you on Twitch, if I don't see you tomorrow on Twitch, you're going to pay. That's all I have to say. This has been TAETRO. Have a good one.